Let's understand different types of markets. Well, understand markets are categorized on various logic. Let us first list down them and then we'll go into the detail and then we'll smoothly try to revise everything. So what I'll recommend that try to understand the logic on the basis of which they are categorized so that it will be very easy for you to remember. So different types of markets are categorized on various logic. Well, markets are categorized based on the area covered for their business. Further, they are categorized into that as local market, national market, and international market. Another logic on which we categorize market is basis of time for which the market exists. On that basis, the markets are categorized on very short-term market, short period market, and long period market. Well, markets are categorized on the amount of volume of business done. On the basis of volume of business done, the markets are further categorized into wholesale market and retail market. Well, markets are further categorized on the basis of the importance of commodity in the system. So on that importance basis, the markets are categorized as primary market, secondary market, and terminal market. Well, market are also categorized on the nature of the commodity. So that's where we say it as a commodity market or a capital market. Market is categorized on the basis of amount of regulation on the market is available. On that, we categorize the markets on the basis of regulated market or unregulated or free market. Market also can be seen from the perspective of level of competition. That's where markets are categorized into perfect market, perfect competition market, or imperfect competitive market. The imperfect market can be further categorized as monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly, or monopsony markets. Now, once we understand that markets are categorized on various logics, right from area covered to time of the existence of market to the volume of the market, then the importance of the commodity in the market, the nature of the goods and commodity, and level of regulations and the competition level. Now, let us understand them one by one. See, as the name or the first logic says that the markets are categorized on the basis of area covered in that market. And hence, they are further categorized into three areas: local market, national market, and international market. As the name suggests, local market, where the geographical area is in the local vicinity, local areas. The very reason that the business or the market happens in the local area is because of the perishable nature or the inability to carry the goods to the longer distances. Typically, milk produce, typically goods or fruits or vegetables which are not able to carry for the longer period of time are or longer distances are comes under this local market. So many a times local markets are the markets where the business has been considered or handled in a local level only. As the name suggests, national market. Well, as the name suggests, now the market is open throughout the country. So a product is produced in Maharashtra can be sold in West Bengal. A product produced in Punjab can be sold in Tamil Nadu, and so the whole country is available for sales and purchase. When the market is or the business transactions are done throughout the nation, then those are called as national markets. And there are international markets. In international markets, the seller sells the goods produced in one country into the another country. So here typically the concept of import and export comes into picture. So in international market, well, person sells the goods produced in one country into the another. The person who is selling is called as exporter, and the person who is purchasing the goods from another country is called as importer. And hence, the market can be nicely categorized into three areas on the basis of geographical area covered by them. That is local market, national market, and international market. Once we understand this, let's go to the another logic on which the markets are categorized. The another logic is time for which the market exists. Well, here also the markets are categorized into three areas or three types. Where the first type is very short period market. In this, the market exists for very short period of time. Typically, farm produce, milks, vegetables, fruits, perishable items are sold into this because the market lasts for very small period of time. The very reason market lasts for very small period of time is because of the perishable nature of the goods. And hence, farm produce or the products like milk or fruits or vegetable which has a very short life are basically a very short period market. Typically, market a sabji market in your vicinity area which lasts for what 3 hours and then you have a short period market where the duration is more than the very short period market but less than long period market, typically from 1 day to a week or 15 days. These markets comprise of markets during fairs, markets during festival season, or let's say a weekly market in a specific area. I'll give an example. Let's say in India, there is a Ganpati festival which is being celebrated at a very large scale. So there are a lot of goods and services sold during that period at a very high rate or high volume, I would say. Right? So for those goods and commodity, the market is very relatively short period market where they are not able to sell the goods or products produced for throughout the year or not for 1 day but for a relatively longer period of time, and hence they're short period market. Typically, semi-perishable goods or semi-finished goods are sold into short period market. Then you have a long period market. The durable goods, consumable durable goods like electronic items or non-perishable items are sold throughout the years. Just like selling of electronics, right? It's a long period market where you can sell this throughout the years. Selling of cell phones or selling of cars and so on and so forth. So non-perishable items, or I would say consumable durables, durable items or durable commodities are sold in long period of time. Hence, now this is the second type where we categorize the markets on the basis of time for which the market exists. That is very short period market, and long period market. In very short period market, typically perishable items are sold. In short period market, which lasts for longer duration than very short period market but lesser duration than long period market, typically a semi-finished or semi-processed goods are sold along with perishable items. And long period market where the goods are sold throughout the years probably. Now, the market also further categorized on the basis of volume of transaction they have done. And they're further categorized, as you know, in terms of wholesale market and retail market. In case of wholesale market, what happens? Well, goods, commodities, services are sold in a bulk quantity at a cheaper price. The person who is selling is known as wholesaler. The person who is buying is known as retailer. What does retailers does? Retailers buys the goods or commodities from wholesaler in a bulk quantity at a relatively cheaper rate and sell it to the retail customers in small quantities. Right? On the contrary, a retail market is where the retailer sells the goods directly to the customer in small quantities, but relatively at a higher price. So that's on the basis of volume of business done in per transaction basis. And hence, that's a wholesale market and a retail market. Further, market can be categorized on the basis of importance of the commodity involved in it. Hence, market can be categorized on the basis of primary market, secondary market, and terminal market. As the name suggests, the primary market deals with the primary needs of the consumers. So goods and commodities which directly caters to the primary needs of the consumers are basically dealt into it, and hence those markets are called as primary market. Typically, farm produce, forest produce like vegetable, fruits, grains comes under primary market. On the contrary, secondary market is not so important as primary market. They are important, but they are not so directly relevant to the public at large. They are basically raw material for the other big companies. Typically, semi-processed, semi-manufactured products like iron ore produce or let's say yarn. So what happens? Primary production is, or primary market is for cotton, but secondary market is for what? For yarn. So from cotton we go to yarn. From yarn you make it to terminal market, that is finished product, right? So in secondary market, well, semi-processed, semi-finished goods are sold. And the terminal market, as the name suggests, the terminal means end, right? Terminal of something is end of something. So terminal market is end, where the finished products are sold to the end consumers. Those are called as terminal market. So it's primary market, secondary market, and terminal market. In case of primary markets, the primary needs of the consumers are directly targeted in this market. Typically, farm produce or forest produce are in the form of grains, foods, vegetables, all these perishable, non-perishable, semi-perishable items are used under this. Secondary markets, where semi-finished or semi-processed goods are sold in that market, they affect the other businesses, not the consumers, end consumers directly. And then lastly, you have terminal market, where the finished goods are sold directly to the consumers. Right? A typical example of primary, secondary, and terminal market is cotton produce are primary markets. They are processed into yarns, secondary market, and then yarns are made into different fabrics, like let's say pants or shirts, and sold to the customer are terminal market. Now, once we categorize the market in the form of importance, let's categorize on the nature of the commodity. Well, markets can be categorized broadly into two big areas, one related to commodity markets and another related to capital market. When I say it's a commodity market, I typically talk about commodities, perishable, semi-perishable commodities, which are manufactured through processes. Goods, services, materials are basically commodities which are done in market. So perishable, non-perishable. Manufacturing processed goods are commodities. On the contrary, when we have a capital market, right? Capital market talks about the money. So typically capital market is a market which deals with lending or buying of long-term loans or capitals by big business enterprises, right? These capital markets are the markets related to money, and they are typically also called as money market. Reason being, there the huge amount of money is involved. On the basis of nature of commodity, we categorize market as commodity, where goods and commodities are sold, and when the money is involved in the market, we say it as a capital market. Right? So when there are physical goods in commodity, it's a commodity market. When there is finance involved or only money transactions involved, we call it as capital market. Right? Well, markets can be categorized on the basis of the level of regulations available on the market. And they're further categorized as regulated market and unregulated or free market. Well, as the name suggests, regulated market means in the market there are rules and regulations, statutory regulations has to be followed by the market players, by buyers and sellers. Typically, in some examples of regulated markets are stock exchange, foreign exchange, commodity exchange, and so on and so forth, where there are rules and regulations are involved. But in case of free market, well, there are no as such rules and regulations levied on the market. Typically, the demand and supply decide the price of the commodity there. So, yes, level of regulation decides the another type of market, that is regulated market and unregulated market. Markets further can be categorized on the basis of amount of competition available in the market. They can be categorized as perfect competition or imperfect competition. Imperfect competition can be further categorized into monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly, and monopsony markets. Let's talk about perfect competition. See, as the name suggests, perfect competition, there are huge number of buyers and sellers are available in the market for the same commodity. Since there are huge number of buyers and sellers available in the market for the same commodity, well, every buyer and every seller is very well aware about the whole market. Since the awareness is high, typically the prices in the market are fixed. On the contrary, in case of imperfect competition, well, there are imperfections are created purposefully in order to create monopoly or in order to mislead the demand supply or create a demand supply gap so that the prices can be fluctuated, and imperfections are created purposefully. So in case of imperfect market or imperfect competitions, the buyers and sellers are not fully aware about the goods and services and the facilities related business aspect of the market. The imperfect market are further categorized as monopoly. As the name suggests, monopoly, where there is a control of a single seller on the whole market. Typically, he fixes the price of the goods and commodity, and he controls the whole activity of that commodity in the market. Wherein duopoly, instead of one, now there are two players who controls the market, but typically they still behave in the form of monopolies also. In case of oligopoly, there are few players available in the market which try to compete for the market. But again, there are likely chances in case of oligopoly also, the limited players try to create a conglomeration, understanding amongst themselves to come at a reasonably high price so as to avoid competition and get good profit. There is another imperfect market, which is monopsony market, where there is only one buyer and there are various sellers for the. Since there is only one buyer, he dictates the pricing and the purchasing of the commodity. So once you understand there are various logic on the basis of which we categorize markets, let's revise it fast. Right? Markets are categorized on the basis of geographical area covered. Can you tell me what are the types of market? Yes, it's local market, national market, and international market. Market can be further categorized on the basis of time for which it exists. So it's a very short period market wherein perishable items are sold. Short period markets, semi-processed perishable items are sold. Long period markets, consumer durables and long-term products are sold in there. Then the market can be categorized on the basis of volume of business done. So you have wholesale market and you have retail market. In case of wholesale market, the goods and products are sold or purchased in a very large quantity at a reasonably cheaper pricing. And in case of retail market, the retailers sell the customers or direct end customers the product at a relatively higher price in a small quantities. The markets can be categorized on the basis of importance of the commodities. Well, that's where they are categorized as primary markets, which targets about primary needs of the consumers, secondary market, and terminal market. In case of primary market, the primary needs of the consumers are satisfied. Typically, farm produce or forest produce, which directly affects the primary needs or day-to-day needs of the consumers or human beings. Wherein secondary markets, semi-processed or semi-manufactured, semi-produced goods are sold into this. In case of terminal market, well, the finished goods are sold in case of terminal market. Well, markets can be categorized on the basis of nature of commodity they deal with. And hence, they are categorized as commodity market and capital market. As the name suggests, commodity markets deals with the markets having transactions related to various commodities, like manufactured, produce, farm produce, forest produce, all sort of things. In case of capital market, the market which deals with financial transactions. A huge amount of lending and borrowings are done in case of capital markets. I further go and try to categorize the market on the basis of level of regulation. That is a regulated market and unregulated market, free market. Where in case of regulated market, there are rules and regulations, statutory regulations are levied on business players in order to control the activities. Wherein in case of unregulated markets, the market forces, demand and supply forces decide the price of the commodity. I go to further and try to explain you the next type of market, which is based on competition, level of competition. So you have perfect competition where huge number of buyers, sellers are there and everybody knows about everything in the market and hence price of the commodity remains same. Whereas in imperfect market, well, the market's imperfections are purposefully created to make good money. So by doing monopolistic activities or by creating demand supply misbehaviors or by hiding information from buyers and sellers. So imperfect informations are given to buyers and sellers so that you can take benefit out of it. That's imperfect markets are further categorized as monopoly, single seller, duopoly, there are two sellers, oligopoly, there are limited few number of sellers, and monopsony, which means there is only one buyer in the market.